again, I'm just spitballing here. We always do this when it comes down to our last two picks. We go to offensive tackle.
Yeah.
The guy that stands out to me like a sore thumb is Hollin Pierce, who the Bengals have met with. I've been on record talking about why I think he's such a difference maker. He has never made it. Honestly, the last two drafts, he didn't make it to this point, I don't think. He got picked quite early. Hollin Pierce is an absolute mauler at the tackle position. And if you're talking about, Orlando Brown and his long-term future here in Cincinnati, if he wants to resign or if he decides to retire, which I highly doubt he'd retire, he's still youngish. I just feel like Hollin Pierce, there's no better person for him to learn from an Amarius Mims and an Orlando Brown being 6'8". It's not a lot of tackles that come in that are 6'8", number one, and you can learn from two other tackles that are 6'8". He's the mold of what the Bengals like, man. This is a dude. He's violent. His hands are violent. He always is looking to get his hands on somebody. He brings in that he'll have the neck roll. I definitely have the neck roll too. But Hollin Pierce is a guy that was a walk-on, man. He weighed 400 some odd pounds, got himself down to weight, and absolutely was one of Rutgers' more talented offensive linemen. For the backstory, people that don't know, I used to train with Hollin Pierce. And I remember when he was 400 pounds. That's no bullshit. That he legitimately was that huffing and puffing when we were at the gym training together and stuff like that. We actually put on a basketball team together. And this is a dude who just loves the game of football. This is a dude who was determined. He told me even back then, Malik, I'm going to be in the NFL. And I was like, bro, I believe you could do anything you want to be. And I told him, I said, I'm going to be in Cincinnati. I'm going to be working in sports media. And he said, all right, man. We always stayed in contact and supported each other throughout the process. And one of us is here and the other one is very close to being on their way. Hollin Pierce is a guy that I think that if you're an NFL team and you're considering him, the question mark is going to come, hey, can Hollin Pierce, can his feet get quicker? I feel like his feet are a little slow at times. But I think that outside of that, I feel like that's something that could definitely happen. He even has told me, he said he's willing to play guard. He said he's willing to play guard. He did that a little bit.
That's a big guard.
Yeah, that's a huge
guard.
That's
a big boy.
He said he wants to prove that he can do everything amongst the offensive line within reason, of course. Hollin Pierce is a dude that I think could learn a lot from Hollin Pierce. And right now you don't have that. You don't have that swing tackle. You got that guard, right, in Tate Ratledge in the draft. But I think if you walk away from the draft with a Hollin Pierce, I think he could really develop into a special player.
For sure. This is what sucks. There's a lot of these players I feel like would be good.
The reason why I'm standing on tape even further for him, because I think he is the one guy that you look at and you say, that guy. We talk about a lot of these other players, right? If we don't want to double dip at linebacker, if we don't want to force a running back pick here, this dude, man.
I like that pick right now, and then kind of taking our swing at a guy who falls that we feel shouldn't have. I think Hollin Pierce is a great swing right now that gives you an upside for a guy that most people probably don't have that level of upside right now at this point in the draft.
Yeah.
Totally with it. All right.
To be honest with you, I don't think Hollin Pierce will be here at this point.
No.
He's moving up boards.
So with the 153rd pick in the NFL draft, Cincinnati Bengals select Hollin Pierce, tackle, Rutgers.
And man, we can keep saying for every single pick, I don't think this guy will be here. But if we don't think every guy will be there, then like who's going to be there, right? Like someone
I'm only
has
saying
to
that
fall,
because he had a little. I think he had like a little knee scope thing that was, and then he didn't get to do everything that he wanted to do. But this is a dude that I'm be real with you. Similar profile to what's the dude that the Browns drafted last year from Ohio State, DeJuan Jones. Similar to that. If he went to a bigger school, that was played against tougher-ish competition, I think that he'd probably be well off the board a lot because that size is not something you could. Bless you. I think that size is not something you could teach. This dude is going to be a force in the NFL. I think the fact that he's not being thrusted into starting spot right away. I think it's going to be great that he can learn from Amarius Mims and guys of that nature.